Oh yeah. Hey y'all, it's your girl. Hey, Just Krista. It's your girl Lisa. How y'all doing today? As y'all can see from the title, it might be a little confusing, but as we get into it, I'll put y'all up on what it means. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Today it's Hump Day if you work Monday through Friday. It's just Wednesday if you don't work, and it's another day if you work on the weekend. So I hope everybody's having a great whatever day it is to you. Hope everybody had a good day at work or just or the mall, depending on might not work. You might be a man or woman of leisure and not have to go to the work to the job every day. I don't want to be rude to anybody. So baby's gonna play you a clip of a Am I the Asshole? Y'all know that AITA that you see on a lot of things. Y'all know I was special for a second. I had to slow it down to try to get the letters. But you know the AITA that is on certain things where people send out things that they did or things that happened to them and how they responded to it, asking, are they the asshole? Now, this I wanted to say, and I really hope that it was a skit or it wasn't, or it was a parody. But the reality is, there are a lot of people who think like this because there was a stream of people saying what they did, their experiences when it happened. And it was all men talking about their daughters. So I'm going to let baby play the actual Am I the asshole that got me aggravated? And then we're gonna talk about it. She's sharing the stream right now. So let me see who has spoken. It's just Krista. How you doing? Hello to everybody who is watching. It is getting close to Halloween, then Thanksgiving, and then right after that, it will be New Year's Eve. Lord have mercy. It's crazy, y'all. Time is going by super duper fast. You got it, babe? All right, she about to play it, y'all.
Proof once again that men know absolutely nothing about the female body. My daughter started her period without my permission. How should I punish her? I found out my 11-year-old daughter started her period. I grounded her for a month, disabled all of her devices for 2 years, and punished her for eating sweets because they cause early periods. Was this an appropriate punishment? Sir, what the fuck? Obviously not. Girls start the periods at a variety of ages for a variety of reasons. Every single person is different. And you are literally punishing her for something her body is doing completely naturally. Somebody call CPS. I caught my 13-year-old daughter using pads for her period without permission. What do I do now? First off, you just know that this man is also somebody who would have punished her if she would have gotten blood on anything. But what you do now, sir, is you educate yourself so that you can help your daughter. Getting your period is usually a really scary experience, and men like this are actively making it worse. And then they wonder why their daughters never want to talk to them or their daughters never tell them anything. That's because when they went through a completely normal thing for a girl, you punish them and degrade them and tell them that their bodies are disgusting. Do better. Proof once again that men know absolutely nothing about the female.
All right. So that was a TikTok. Yeah, I know I found a lot of my topics on TikTok. And realistically, society makes it almost criminal to be a woman. And to get to being a woman, you got to be a little girl first. And little girl bodies go through so much change, hormones and puberty and going from flat chested to having to wear a bra, or seeing your friends going from flat chested to wearing a bra and you still flat chested, or all the rest of your friends got a period and you still don't have yours, or you're the first girl in your group to get a period. There is so much it's so much going through a child's mind. And the only people that they have, other than their friends who don't know as much as they do, are their parents. And in a perfect world, we should be able to talk to our mother and our father. And maybe our mother more so if we're a little girl, and our father more so if we're a little boy. But if the situation is that there is just a father, you should be able to go to him and say a very normal rite of passage is happening to me. Dad, I got my period. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to use. Can you help me? This little girl with her father, and in his estimation, because of all the periods he had growing up, her period was too early. So it had to be her fault. So she needed to be punished. First of all, y'all, somebody help me who is younger than me. I have never in my life heard of anyone getting punished for a nope. Nope, it's not on. Why, what's wrong? Oh, okay. I have never in my whole life heard of punishing a girl for getting her period. I didn't know that was a thing. But I will say this. The way things are going now, to where people feel ownership in a woman's body, I can't say that I'm surprised. I heard someone say that women or girls shouldn't wear tampons because they cause orgasms. Now, these are men saying these things. And don't get it twisted. Some women who are about the Kool-Aid, who are about the patriarchy Kool-Aid, who are bought into the fact that a man knows more about a woman than a woman does, I'm sure they'll say it. I'm sure they'll high five a man who says that sweets causes the period, or uh, a tampon causes the orgasm, or 11-year-olds shouldn't have a period, or I should punish them for having a period. I
Is my
don't
mic?
get it. Huh?
Is the mic okay?
Oh yeah.
It is.
I'm confused. I don't know if it's cultural. I don't know if it's a racial thing. I grew up in a black household. I don't know if it's a white thing, or another culture. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe somebody from another ethnicity or a cultural group can let me in on how uh, the hormonal and the physical changes of a girl is dealt with. Uh, I know, you know, uh, you, you learn, you somebody showed you sanitary napkins and how to deal with. I know growing up, I'm 56, so I couldn't take a shower for some reason. My mom didn't want me to take a shower. I would have to take a bath when my period was on, because she said something about my head getting wet. I don't know. Let's play it one more time. All right, we're gonna listen to it again.
Okay.
It's coming out.
Proof once again that men know absolutely nothing about the female body. My daughter started her period without my permission. How should I punish her? I found out my 11-year-old daughter started her period. I grounded her for a month, disabled all of her devices for 2 years, and punished her for eating sweets because they cause early periods. Was this an appropriate punishment? Sir, what the fuck? Obviously not. Girls start periods at a variety of ages for a variety of reasons. Every single person is different. And you are literally punishing her for something her body is doing completely naturally. Somebody call CPS. I caught my 13-year-old daughter using pads for her period without permission. What do I do now? First off, you just know that this man is also somebody who would have punished her if she would have gotten blood on anything. But what you do now, sir, is you educate yourself so that you can help your daughter. Getting your period is usually a really scary experience, and men like this are actively making it worse. And then they wonder why their daughters never want to talk to them, or their daughters never tell them anything. That's because when they went through a completely normal thing for a girl, you punish them and degrade them and tell them that their bodies are disgusting. Do better. Proof once again that men know absolutely nothing about the female body. My daughter started her period without my permission. How should I punish her? I found out my 11-year-old daughter started her period. I grounded her for a month, disabled all of her devices.
Now, I just, it feels like I don't know what to say. It feels like this should be something that is without question. It feels like in 2023, I shouldn't have to listen to someone berate, punish, degrade their daughter for hormonal changes. I feel like by now we should understand the basic human anatomy, but I guess not. I listened to a baby didn't tell me what we were talking about, because she wanted to get my honest what the hell. But just so happened I was listening. I was scrolling on TikTok, and they get the little excerpts of Congress and the House of Representatives when they're deposing different people, when they're trying to pass different bills. So it was the man who is now the Speaker of the House. Hear what I said. This man is now the Speaker of the House. He was questioning a doctor about late term abortions. So I'm not here to debate whether or not abortions are bad or good, right or wrong. Understand that an abortion is health care for millions of women. Millions of women have to make the devastating decision to terminate a pregnancy because the pregnancy isn't viable, because the pregnancy will kill them, because the pregnancy will kill them and the baby. There are very number of reasons why. I'm not talking about somebody who does it because they got pregnant accidentally. I'm not debating whether or not you're pro-choice or pro-life. All I'm saying is that access to healthy hospital pregnancy termination, which is just all an abortion is. It's a term. It doesn't mean what we made it mean. It means that you terminated a pregnancy for whatever reason. It is the same for, the term is the same for if the baby has no brain. That's still an abortion. Parents still wanted them. It's still, I'm not debating that. But this is what the person said. He's trying to get a doctor to agree that they do abortions when the baby is being born at 40 weeks. This is what a man thinks of a woman. Do y'all get what I'm saying? This is 2023. This is a recent deposition in the House of Representatives. These are the same people who have daughters at home. He tried to get a doctor to say that doctors are killing babies on the way out of the womb during birth. This is what they, I don't know, is this what they think? I can see him saying something to his daughter about, why are you having a period? Why are you bleeding? Did you have sex? Who did it? It's your fault. You're not going to be clean for the wedding. You hear what I'm saying? Ladies, y'all help me, because I'm a little older than y'all, just a little bit. So maybe between the time y'all were born and I was born, something happened.
Okay. Is it still okay? Because I had to switch things around.
Oh, yeah, you good.
Okay. I think this guy is probably getting his information from some of his buddies for them to be thinking this silly. You know,
these people, the man that's talking about the abortion, he is in control of the things that happen in our life. You get what I'm saying? He's now the Speaker of the House.
Right. Okay.
He's in control of the bills and the budgets and the laws and the things that affect us.
Yeah.
He is also probably the father of a daughter who has to listen to when her friends talk about, is that your dad?
Right.
Or the little girl who had her devices taken away for 2 years and who got punished because she got her period at 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got mine at 12.
I got mine at 18.
I got mine at 12. I was 12 years old. I didn't know what the hell was going on. My grandmama, she was acting like I was supposed to know, I guess, because I read a lot. She gave me some pads. She told me, this is what happened. You can't take a shower when you're on your period. You got to take a bath because you don't want to get your head wet. I don't know what the hell that was about.
Different. I was told to take a shower and
She
don't
told me
take
I was not supposed to get my head wet. Now understand, my grandmother was born in 1926.
But I do know about the hair wetting thing. You ain't supposed to get your hair wet.
Yeah, you're supposed to get your hair wet, so you take a bath, not a shower. So she didn't say I couldn't take a bath. She just said I couldn't take a shower.
She used to make me wear a shower cap.
So
we couldn't take a bath.
I didn't understand the hair wet thing. Shoot, when I got older, all I wanted to be was clean. So when I got up, I took a shower, my hair got wet, it got wet. But I digress. Again, what has changed to where little girls are being punished for getting their period? Where's the mama at? Here's the question I have. In the asshole situation, where the mama at? I would have divorced him immediately.
Yeah.
I would have said, sir, I'm not going to allow you to be near my daughter anymore. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with a man who punishes his 11-year-old daughter for getting her period, and she can't eat sweets no more because sugar do everything. Sugar give you diabetes, it give you zits, and now it give you a period.
I ain't never heard of that.
Her mom must have always hid her periods from him, so he thought it was something that she could have when she wanted to. So she never had one because, she kept her stuff hidden.
But this is
But then
2023,
I would
y'all.
get
Come on, somebody help me out. This is the present. This is not the 40s and the 50s when women had to wear a belt to wear pads. There used to be a belt like stockings
I remember
that you had
that.
to wear pads. So nowadays you don't even have to wear a pad. They got underwear that you can wear.
Do you think those is good?
Yeah,
Ah,
I bought them for my girls.
Oh, really? They really work? I know my sister, somebody in my family, she told me she had got her some.
They come in strengths, like they come in, just like the pads do, low, high. Yeah, they come in strength. You
But
pick
do
one.
you feel like, I was asking this person, I was like, every time I go to the bathroom when I had one, thank God, no more. But you gotta change it because you feel dirty. It's like you still feel clean, like to pull it back
It's
up on you.
sucking it in just like the pad do. When if it starts getting too full, that's when you change your underwear. Like it's the exact same thing.
But I mean, just the ideal that mines would be on the pad, I would have to get rid of it. I couldn't pull it back up on me. You know what I'm saying?
you
Back in the
changed
day.
your pad every time you went to the bathroom?
Well, you should have switched to tampons then, because
Yeah,
that's a
you
lot
should
of
have
damn
got switched to
pad.
Oh
tampons.
no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh
Why
no.
not? No, what was wrong with tampons?
I pee a lot.
Mm-mm.
I pee
I
a lot.
wasn't
Well,
So I don't
jabbing
know about
things up in me.
yeah, first of all, ma'am, don't ever say you jabbing nothing up in you like you stabbing yourself. That's number one. That's number one. Number two, the particular place where it was going to go is an entryway. So that's what it's made for things to go in.
I was always scared it was gonna get stuck and keep going.
You gotta,
So
who told you how you became a nurse, ma'am? Ma'am, ma'am,
I'm talking about from the beginning. I'm talking
ma'am,
about from the
where was
beginning.
it going,
From the
ma'am.
beginning.
It had a string. See, I was raised by somebody, like I said.
I didn't pop out a nurse. I didn't pop out just being a
I
nurse.
understand that. I understand that. But I was raised by somebody. I'm just messing with you about the nurse thing. I understand what
I
you're saying.
know.
But I was raised by somebody who didn't know that you could have a damn strip of glue on the back of the pad. So you understand that it took me a minute to get to a situation. That first time I guess because my grandma was still, because we didn't menopause till after 50. So when I hit my period, my grandma was still, you know what I'm saying? She was still birthing. I didn't know because we ain't talking about that stuff.
My mother made my sister go and tell me how to clean myself up because my mother had to go to work. And so the next day, my mother was like, "Did she tell you to do this? And did she tell you every time you go to the bathroom, this is what you're supposed to do?" And, we went from there. But that putting stuff, mm-mm,
Did you ever do it as you got older?
no. Because
Now,
as I got older, I found out other things about those tampons. So I was like, I'm cool. Yeah.
it's just like anybody else. It's a personal preference. When I was young, I didn't start using them till I got out of my mama's house, and I realized because I didn't know I had PCOS, so I
Okay.
would either have no period or I would have a period for months at a time.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
You just said I remember using a tampon and the stream popped. I thought it wasn't gonna come out and I was gonna die.
see?
Well, you can go get it. It's not like I ain't trying to be funny, y'all. Okay, here's another question.
But you remember they had the OB tampons. They didn't have a string. You just shove it in there.
Yeah,
Like you
you reached
put
up
it
in there
on
and got it
your
out, but
I needed it to pull right down. When I pulled them underwear down, I needed that to just go on. You know how it be stuck on the underwear? Just go on, and then I peel it off. and throw that little stanky thing away.
All right, I got a question. At what age did you start to explore your body? To know what it can and cannot do, where things were, look at it, touch it. At what age did y'all do that?
Touch it. Touch it. Oh.
I had older cousins that told us to do stuff, so probably about 11 or 12.
I
What are
didn't.
you?
I touching it just myself. I was in my 20s.
Wait a minute.
We were told to get a mirror and look at it.
Yeah, look at it. You didn't look at it before you were in your 20s? Shit, by the
I
time
was
I was
in the
20s, I had
church.
instrument knowledge. Say
I was
what?
in the church. I was in the church. You didn't do all of that
Church
stuff.
every day, but that's all what my cousin told us to do: get a mirror and look at your stuff so you see what it look like, because you need to know how to clean all in there.
Okay, I got another question. Were you made to feel? Okay, here's another question.
How like Lonnie say that like that though?
Here's another question. She said she was in the church. Were you made to feel that your sexuality and your vagina was a bad thing?
Yes, they did make you feel that way. Yes, they did.
Okay.
That's why when I broke out, and this is the result of it. I'm out here hot. Yeah.
Okay, I got another question for you. When you became an adult and you broke out, did you then do all that stuff that you should have been doing when you were younger? Like looking at it, touching it, all that stuff?
I didn't because
or did you break out, but you still acting like you did when you was at home?
I kind of did but when I broke out, I had moved out with a guy. Me and him, so I was learning all this new stuff. Just, yeah. So it was a lot going on at one time.
Okay. Well, I asked that because I think that's plays into the I am the A thing, because I can't fault anybody for their religious conviction. I can't fault anybody for their religious upbringing, for how they feel and their faith. I can fault how you make it. So I feel like that by making faith this hateful thing, I don't get that. I don't get that.
They wanted us to wear like the mothers in the church. They would get mad and say, "Oh, baby, you got that shirt on. You showing your stuff up there." They had me. I was like, "Mom, what am I supposed to wear? A turtleneck in the summer? Because I got a high cleavage. So what am I supposed to do?" It was like I had to wear scarves and stuff around my neck.
I don't get that. See,
all that stuff. And my mother told me, she said, "You know what? A lot of them older mothers and stuff did that because they didn't want their husbands looking at you. But their husbands were still looking at the young girls in the church and still giving them money to."
But here's my problem. Okay. At what point do we stop making it our problem, our daughter's problem, our granddaughter's problem, our great granddaughter's problem? At what point do we go, hey, how about you teach your son and your husband and your brother and your grandchildren, your grandboys, how to respect women, instead of making women and little girls feel like just by living they're the problem? I get it. I get it that everybody want to blame Eve for the evils of the world, but I can't.
Who is that? That came in with.
Oh, who's that? Oh, hi.
Who is it?
That's my TC.
Hey, baby.
What's up, Lisa DC Leilani? What's up, baby?
Everybody. Shouldn't she know that's TC? I'm like,
what's up,
I couldn't.
What's up, DC?
What's up?
Leilani, you ain't right. I couldn't see because I got the light shining right in my eye.
I'm kind of working at the same time and getting the dogs from bark outside, so I'm in and out.
Yeah,
I just came up.
Hi.
Hey,
I can't. I can't, y'all. I can't. I, I cannot keep looking. I cannot punish my grandbaby for what you
Mm,
did not teach your son. I
right.
cannot punish my daughter
Mm.
for what you did not teach your grandson or your husband or your
Right.
Mm.
brother. I cannot punish my daughters for what you
Mm,
did not teach your son. I wish, I wish
Right.
I wish a motherfucker would come in here and tell me that Penelope got to put on a long sleeve shirt in June because you can't keep your little nasty ass son from touching folks because you didn't tell him to keep his hands to himself. Because you didn't tell him that there's a difference between saying hello and smacking somebody on the ass. Because you did tell him not to put his hands on a girl because he thinks that he's entitled to put his hands wherever he wants to. I am not going to
mhm.
do it. I will shut the school down. I will shut the principals, the teachers. I hate to see little girls have to go through getting punished and suspended and in school suspension because somebody arbitrarily thought that their shorts were too short, that their shirt sleeves was too short. That oh, you can't, my son can't see your collarbone because if he sees a collarbone, he gonna get an F on his paper.
Lisa, let me jump in real quick. 2
Jump
weeks
on,
ago,
baby.
2 weeks ago, I got called out my bed to come and bring Shaylin pants. Because they pulled all the girls that they said was wearing leggings to school.
Oh.
I had to go in her room, find her some pants, and bring her some pants, or she was going into in-school suspension.
My
Now
baby
Oh.
would have graduated from
Oh.
in-school suspension.
I'm already mad. I go up there. And I'm waiting and waiting. Now she's not in school suspension. They done sent her back to class. I'm like, why is she back in class then? If you're claiming she's out of, uniform or whatever.
But
Comes
did
when
they show you the passage where she couldn't wear leggings? Did they show you where that room
Right.
was?
let me finish. When she came into that office, Shaylin was wearing jogging pants,
What?
sweatpants.
So what's wrong with them?
So
No,
what she was on?
they saw it because Shaylin has a shape. They assumed they
Oh.
didn't look all the way down her leg to see what she had on. They saw a booty because she has a booty
Right.
and just jumped her into the line with some people that had on leggings and tights. But then when
Oh.
they realized it once she was in that room and they sent her back, they knew that I was going to come up there and tell them off. But they was too late because I was already there.
But did that? But I still, even for the other even for the other children, where the line? Where does it say that they can't wear it?
You
Right.
because tights are not pants. So technically, if it's see through, you can't wear it. That is in the thing.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with that.
They don't know the difference between what they can wear and what they can't.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with not have. I'm cool with it. Tights being under a dress or
Right.
under pants. I'm cool with
Right.
that. However, if you got on some yoga leggings that are the same material as jogging pants, but they just happen to be tight, and
Mm-mm.
I very rarely, and I don't have a little girl. I got a little boy, and he went to school his last couple years in pajama pants. So shit, I don't know, but I don't know. But
God.
I have is yet to see little girls have on leggings and a crop top. Normally, these little kids have on leggings and a sweatshirt that's 7 times too big, hanging down to the ankles.
And she
Right.
did. She had on a doggone hoodie
These kids wear
and
hoodies.
jogging pants.
These kids
Yeah.
wear hoodies. It's 7,000 degrees outside. Nick and his friends will have on a hoodie and some shorts.
Yeah.
And the hoodie hang down. But so my thing is this: it's always the girls. It's never the little boys. It's never the little boys who got on the white beater or who got their shirt open and you can see their little
Mhm.
hot taco meat chest hair. It's never the little boys that you can see their drawers all the way down to the crack of their thigh muscle. It's never the little boys. It's always calling the girls to the office because it's the little girl's fault that he failed his test. Do you understand that they send little girls to the principal's office because some little boy be looking at her and it's her fault that he failed. It's her fault he didn't do his work. It's her fault that he was talking in
Mhm.
class. There are articles after articles of parents have to go up to the school because their little girls are being harassed by teachers and principals, not even the students. You don't get me started on them ignoring little boys, sexually harassing little girls in class, thinking that boys will be boys and girls just got to sit there and take it because that's our lot in life as women.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a boy that I went to school with that used to always play with my hair, and then the teacher would yell at me and tell me I had detention.
So,
Gee.
This man is behind me. I don't know he finna reach for my head.
my little grandmama, let me tell y'all something about the little church lady that raised me. Now she know who she had. I talked a lot and I had a smart ass mouth, and I finished a lot at first. We be doing the test, and I finish first, and I sit there and mess with people. I ain't gonna lie, I was big. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I had ADHD or I wasn't challenged.
Yeah.
If I was bored. So if you
Yep.
gave me something and I finished first, I want somebody to talk to or somebody to mess with. So I wasn't bad, but I was enough to understand it. Now I can look back and go, yeah, you deserve some of that. But
I brought a coloring book.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm back in the day. I was like, now that I look back on myself, I go, you deserve a little bit of that, but not all of it. But I deserve some of it, but not all of it. Because I was a girl. And because my sixth grade summer, seventh grade year, I turned into a 10, 11-year-old girl with a 16, 17, 18-year-old body.
No, wow.
The boobs came in, the booty came in. I lost a ton of weight. I went back to the seventh grade looking like I was 16.
Yeah.
And I know I looked like I was 16, but to me, I was still in the seventh grade. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't act any different, but people acted different towards me.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and now that I look back, I understand why it was, but it wasn't fair because I would have boys pop my bra strap or pull my hair because it was long.
And
Or
grown ups nowadays will, if you look a certain way, they will treat you a certain way, just like they still in high school.
but that's because for whatever reason,
Yeah.
even modern day women still allow their husbands and the fathers of their daughters to treat their daughters like they're the problem.
Hmm.
They still allow their husbands and they still allow the father of their children, whether it's their husband or their boyfriend or just somebody they co-parenting with, allow their daughter to feel like she is the problem.
Hmm.
Why are you wanting to do this instead of be a cheerleader? Why you want to be in the science club? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
want to play basketball instead of being a cheerleader?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be a cheerleader instead of playing back? You see what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
always the little girl is the problem with what she's doing, and the mamas are allowing these men these little girls had these issues,
Mhm.
and the mamas do it. I think sometimes without thinking about it. Go put some
Right.
clothes on. So and so coming over to the house. I will never tell my grandbaby because just so happened I had a boy, but I got a granddaughter, and there will never be a man in the house with her that she is uncomfortable with. That
Mhm.
she got to go run and put on some long pants and a sweatshirt to be in the house with her. There's
See,
never
we
going to
had
be
to do that.
anybody in my house that I am scared of my daughter, my grandbaby being around. You'll never be in here. Never. You'll never be Uncle so and so.
Yeah.
You'll never be cousin so and so. If there's any itch that you have looked cockeyed at a 17-year-old,
Hmm.
you go over to your other folks' house. Don't come over here because you're not coming in the door. I don't care who you cut. I don't care who your daddy is, your mama is. I don't
Hmm.
care because I will cut off Jesus. Hear me for my family. I don't care who you related to. Don't come here talking about I'm so and so's son, or I'm so and so uncle, or I'm so and so brother. I don't care.
Well, where do you like
Okay.
where do you like be different about? Okay, I understand that part about, it's her home and she shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable in her house, in her home. But where do you like say, like, as a young lady,
Nope. I don't do that.
no,
I don't do that. I know I stopped it for. I don't do that.
okay,
As a young lady, I don't do that. I don't
okay,
tell you you're a young lady, so you got to do this. As a
hmm,
person, you have to have your own personal boundaries. You have to have your own personality and your own way of doing things.
hmm,
I haven't yet. I like to be naked. Let me say that. But I know to
Yes.
put on clothes when somebody come in the house.
Yes. Naked
I
is
like to be
what's
naked.
happening. Yes.
It come home when I was young.
I cannot get used to that naked stuff, and
When
I
I was
cannot.
young, I
Ooh.
come home and I get butt when I was young and there was nobody in
Butt
the house.
belly naked. Butt belly
Booty
naked. You're
naked.
daggone right.
I'm vacuuming naked. I'm cooking, trying to get my titties out the grits naked. I don't care. I am naked and I will barely wear. And here's the thing, crazy as it sounds, for some reason, for a very long time, I would always wear a t-shirt underwear to bed. Don't ask me why I thought my stuff was gonna fall out in the middle of the night. I didn't have no control of it. It's just a thing I had. It wasn't till I was older that I started sleeping naked. But as far as being naked, baby,
Mama said,
That
always keep your behind covered in case of a fire. So I cannot. I can't.
outside butt boot ass naked if shit is on fire. Trust me, I'm not gonna
that's
die because
it.
I'm naked.
No. Right.
I
I die
think
because I'm
Krista
naked.
was
I will
raised
find
by
something
my
to cover me
granny.
up.
I
Krista
can't
was
do
raised
it.
by my granny. My granny didn't believe in being naked.
No.
And she didn't believe in not having your bloomers on.
Whoa.
I ain't gonna lie,
Well,
my
this is
grandmama,
the
yeah.
thing. I got
Granny was
on.
upset with me because I quit wearing bloomers a long time ago. I ain't
But
never
see,
sleep in them. I wasn't sleeping in them, period. But I
yeah,
ain't bothered. Once I started working from home and stuff, what am I buying them
Oh
for?
yeah.
I just can't. I feel
Mm-mm.
like I don't know. I feel like and then when your stuff is kind of juicy, you don't want to be like, the
I got
underwear
thick
kind of.
thighs.
That's the
I
Me
got thick
reason.
thighs.
too. Me
The juice
too.
is
That's the
being held.
reason
It's
why
good.
you make it.
The
You
thighs,
gotta
the
that shit
thighs hold that
breathe.
juice right there. It need to be.
Yeah, listen. It
You
holds a
gotta let
lot of
that
heat
ass
and
breathe,
moisture.
baby.
Because if you put panties on, then you got wet panties, and that's real. Now you start chafing.
You gotta let that ass breathe, boy.
Let
You
her
better let
free.
somebody get up in there.
Let her free.
It,
Free her.
it's
Let
how
her.
let it breathe.
You better let that
She
pretty
needs to
thing so you
breathe.
get some
She
air
needs
up under
air.
there. Ain't no air going up under there with no brown. You better let
She
them
needs
have
some air.
That's right.
fun. But what I
Let
said,
that air
I said
flow.
that to say, I know to see even a child, a baby. Nick used to
Mm.
love to run out the bathroom naked from the bathroom to his room. He would run out the bathroom, do a little dance, and run to his room, put his clothes on. That was his thing. He was a kid. Go ahead. However, he had to learn that okay, I can't do that in everybody company.
Okay.
But as a baby, you're not gonna tell me what my child gonna do in his house because it's his house. It's not your house.
All right, short story real quick. So years ago when I was young, maybe 10 years old, 9, something like that, we lived in a high rise that go 12-story high in DC, Washington, DC. And the building was vibrating at like 1, 2 in the morning. So they hit all the alarms. Now, can you picture all the people running out? Because it's like 2 in the morning. What are you doing at 2 in the morning? Sleep.
Yep.
So ever since that happened, I'm sleeping with pajamas, t-shirt.
Yes, she do.
See,
She do.
finally, thank you,
She do.
Jesus.
She do.
That happened when I was a kid, and I saw how people came out of the building because you ain't had time to grab nothing because the building was vibrating.
Yeah,
But so Lisa tell you, I ain't playing that shit.
She do. She do.
I don't play it.
Oh, I
You know,
sleep.
It just ain't
Thank you,
nothing.
Lisa. Thank you, DC Kool-Aid, for letting me know if I get involved in a relationship with someone that's a nudist at night, that it's okay for me to have on my pajamas. Thank you.
That's her. That's how she does. I'm used to it. Normally, I would sleep naked, and because I slept naked, I always kept a quick wrap robe at the end of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get up, I can grab it if I got to run out the house because the house on fire. But I'm going to the kitchen. I'm going to the kitchen titty drag. I'm creating sparks with these things. I'm
You can
not
put
still
a
up there.
moo right next to your
Wow.
bed, so when the alarm go off and you gotta run, grab the moo, throw it on. But I can't sleep naked. I got too much boob. I'll roll over on some boob. I gotta
Man,
put on
now
the
I will
and
say
Oh,
lay
that
on.
recently
I will do the no boob. I mean the no top thing, because sometimes I
I can't do
can't
no top. I will
I
roll
did.
over and
Yeah, I
pinch
did.
your titty.
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't care
have my
about that.
pajama top.
It
But
hurts. I can't do it. I will pinch your titty in a minute and it hurts.
I don't. I will say I rolled over on the nipple a couple times, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah,
But it didn't stop making me put no shirt on.
it's
But
painful.
what I'm saying, when I said the reason I stopped Krista, at what point do she don't need to do anything? Like I said, I use me as an example, but
yeah,
just because I like to be naked, when somebody comes over, I'm gonna put clothes on.
right. Yeah.
You sitting up here screaming at your daughter because she got on a short tank top in her house means that the person that you got coming in your house is looking at your child. So
But
why is
it's
that person coming? Nope. Why is that person coming to your house? If I
yeah,
go into a house and your son comes out of his room with his and he plays sports or whatever, and
mm,
he come out of his room without his shirt on and his basketball shorts, or hell, his boxer shorts, I'm not looking at him.
no, and I'm gonna tell him to go back in that room and put a long top on. Don't nobody want to see your peanut.
But I'm not looking at him. If he wanted, but
But
you wouldn't have to. You hear what I'm
but
saying?
listen, some of these people grow up to be adults
Right.
that's
But you
on
wouldn't have
screen
to tell him that.
with
You
their
hear what I'm That's the
peanut.
difference. I'm not saying that you shouldn't tell him to go put a shirt on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you wouldn't have to tell him to put a shirt on.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
But
Yes.
how they
Somebody in
learn?
the house put a shirt on.
If we
That's
having
just,
company, you gotta learn. You gotta teach them that when we have company, cover your. Put
but you
something on.
don't have to. You're not hearing what I'm saying. You
Oh,
tell him because you want him to learn
right.
the appropriate etiquette for when somebody in your house.
Yeah.
But you don't have to tell him to put a shirt on because I'm there. You see what I'm saying? These women are making the assumption, or they got somebody in their house. They know they have to tell their child to cover up because the person that's in the
Oh.
house is looking at the child like it's not a child.
Mm-mm.
When your son walk out the room, that's some little nasty ass boy who don't wash his ass. That's what I see. That's some
Mm.
little boy that smell hot not like outside. That's what when I see a teenager, hell, a 20-year-old, shit.
Mhm.
All I see is somebody who don't know how to wash their ass and smell like outside.
Well,
But you
I know.
have people that come into your house and they see your child like they see you. That person should be in your house. There's
All
a
I know.
difference
I
between
didn't see
teaching your
some
child.
grown folks going around with their. You can see their peanut. Well, it ain't a peanut no more. It's a wiener or something, and they be all poked out, showing it, and they right here on the and they be on the screen. I'm like, that don't look nice. You a
That's
grown man, and
all
people
the
can see
trend
your.
though. They done come up with that, gray sweatpants season crap, and that's what they
But
teaching them to do.
yeah, social media and the change of the climate and
Not
how
when the
we allow
public
little
can see
boys
you.
and
Come
how
on
we
now.
allow little boys to get away with stuff is a lot of the reason the little boys get away with stuff.
And then they grow
We
up to be these old folks sitting up
and we
here.
have a double standard for our little boys that we don't have for our little girls. We allow little boys to do that, and we don't say nothing because he being a boy. Boys will be boys. That is a
See, my
saying.
mom never
Boys
allowed that.
will be
My
boys.
brother, never walked around in front of his daughter now with his shirt off. He always covered it up. He always covered up his chest and stuff. And
I
put
mean,
on something to cover his male part.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have if I was. I wouldn't. Like I said, I started. I was naked up until Nick was about 5, and then I
Right.
stopped being naked in front of her. I would have
And
did the same thing with my little girl. Not because I
yeah,
thought anything was wrong with a naked body, and I don't want. I think we give our we set our children up with a deficit when we make them think that the naked body is shameful, that we make
okay.
them think sex is shameful, that we make them think that their nudity, that their
No,
vagina
I
and their
think
breasts are
great.
shameful.
Oh, I think sex is great. I think that is
But you
like
didn't think that, but you didn't think that when you were younger. You didn't even
no.
look at this. You
I
didn't
was
think that when you
raised.
were younger. You think that now as an
I got
adult.
out and got me some. I was good. I was healed.
But what I'm saying is I don't labor under the premise that because I say no, my son is gonna do what I say. I don't sit up here and say because I told him not to have sex that he ain't gonna have it. I
Right.
gave him the tools and the information he needed to go at in a way in which he would not be a father at 17 and 16 and hell 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave him the knowledge that this situation may come up.
Hmm.
What you gonna do about it?
That's what my mom. She didn't want. She was like she wanted to break that curse of the teenage pregnancies in our family. She had prayed about it, and she didn't want no more of that. And she prayed so good that I still ain't got no kids, and I'm in my
Oh
fifties.
shit,
So
my bad. But a lot of teenage pregnancies didn't come from telling your kids about sex. It came from not telling them. It
Right.
came
now see,
from
and she
making it.
would tell us.
It came
She
from
would
making it
tell us.
awful, huh?
Hmm. She would tell us about it and show and tell us, okay, now what you want to do? You want this? You
Oh
want to be
yeah,
like that?
that's what you should have did. Yeah, okay, mama, go ahead.
Yeah.
But a lot of parents didn't. A lot of parents, it's generations of parents. My mom did tell me about sex,
All
and I
right.
didn't grow up with a
So,
healthy thing about it.
so Leilani, how old are your kids, Leilani? So everybody know.
17 and 13.
So when did you explain? Because like Kristen don't have kids. I had mine is grown. Nick is 18. So yours are younger. So when did you tell them?
Like start talking to them about sex?
Yeah.
Probably in bits and pieces from 2 on.
Mm.
These are your body parts. Girls have this, boys have that, and keep going. I've always talked to my children. I'm a molested child. So what
Oh,
I
I'm
did not want
sorry.
was for my kids to go through what I went through with somebody touching parts they shouldn't be touching, and telling them don't tell nobody,
Oh,
or I'm gonna kill you. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I didn't want that. So
I'm
I've
so
always
sorry.
talked to my children.
Oh, so sorry. Oh my God.
Yep. I had
We had
issues with that.
this here recently when I was at work, and it hurt me to my heart, y'all. Oh, I still see it. I always told y'all about the R kits when we have to do them. It's like,
Uh-huh.
especially, it's hard. We had a 2-year-old,
Mm.
and when I tell you, I have helped prepare our kids for adults and hadn't seen them look like this 2-year-old. It was bad. It was bad. And I'm sorry, Leilani, when you just said that, it just brought something back, me seeing that, and the crazy part is when a lot of times when they have to come in and talk to the parents and stuff, and of course, the law and everybody gets involved. The mother said, what do I tell my child? Like, what, because she was like, the mother was like, I thought that lady, but they were like, the whole thing is because it happened so young, unless you tell this child, they will never know that it even happened.
That's lies.
That's not true.
Lies. Absolute
And I'm
lies.
thinking at 2,
She may
And
not
I don't
wow.
be
know
able to
why people
articulate
like
it.
to say that you don't remember two. I remember two. I remember less than two.
She may
That's
not
what
be able to articulate it. She may not know why she feels that way. But if you don't, when you
But
think
they,
you're helping kids
like,
by not talking to them,
yeah.
you think you helping them by and some lies, okay, because we lie like kids. So we sit up here and say we don't is a lie. But some things you can't. She's going to feel things that she doesn't understand. And I have a question because I know a lot of times when children that young are physically molested, that it wreaks havoc with their reproductive system. Because I know a couple of times I've heard girls that young that because of that couldn't have kids. Did it affect her reproductive system?
I didn't get the full details because it was going on as I was leaving out. So I wasn't the nurse that was I did my part, but because at when you work ER and you may start out on a patient,
Uh-huh.
but once they become like what we call stable or whatever,
Okay.
just a famous a term, then we can go on. Other than that, like if it was a gunshot or something like that and you in ER, you have to stay
Oh,
until
okay. Okay.
you know. But for something like that, we can actually pass it off to the next nurse. And the nurse that actually was relieving me, she always come to work early anyway. So she was right there with me. But because I was technically still there, I had to help, prepare the
Okay.
kit and get those details and, you know, just listening to them talk to the mom and, with her questions and different things. And I was just thinking to myself, like, if they tell you that the child won't remember, do you then not tell them? Do you ever not bring it up to them?
Somebody gonna
people
Or
bring it
say
up to
people
him.
don't. But that's the same way as they say, like when they have a child who, was born a boy, but something happened, so then they change to the girl. They say, just don't never tell them, and then they won't know. That's not true. They think they can Jedi mind trick children. Oh, they're still very young, so you can just tell them the opposite, and
yeah,
they'll
because
believe it. That
because
doesn't
the
work.
counselor was telling her that anytime before 6, they won't remember.
Yeah, that's lies.
That's what
That's
she
She
was
may
lies.
saying.
not
Why are you gonna tell
actively
people they
remember.
don't have memories?
She may not actively remember. She may her psyche may push it to the back, but it was an experience that happened to her. And somebody is going to tell her.
That's what I
Some
said.
auntie, some auntie is gonna talk crazy because it's gonna say, did you ever tell her about so and so? Some cousin is gonna think she know. Somebody is gonna tell her.
Yeah.
And when they do, she's gonna go
Yes.
to her mother and she's gonna
Yes.
hate her. She's going to hate her. Now she may
And
not hate her forever.
especially for who it was. It was the mother's boyfriend.
She's going to hate her. And she's going to look at her like, how could you do that to me? Not giving children the weapons and the tools that they need to survive.
Hmm.
I don't understand how you do that. If a child asks you about something, tell them about it because they saw something that sparked the curiosity. And if you don't tell them, somebody will.
Hmm.
Imagine your child wanting to know about sex and can't come to you, so they go to a person who will use that against them.
Yes.
Imagine your child wanting to know about drugs and they can't come to you because you get mad or you get upset. So you're going to go to somebody who said, well, try this. Imagine something happening to your kid when they're 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then when they're 12, 13, 14, 15, that auntie that get drunk on the weekend come in the house talking shit and ask you what you ever do with that boy that touched your little girl.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Claude? I can think of no other name. I'm sorry,
So you
Claude.
think
You
it's
out
better
there?
that a parent tell them,
It's
and your
better that if the it's better to take your cues from the child, not from the therapist.
Mhm.
Because the therapist knows what they're taught in school. They
Yeah,
know what they learn from other children or people that they talk to. But the
yeah,
only person that knows themselves better than anybody else is that person. And we got to stop looking at our children as just children. They're little people that
yeah.
have feelings, that have emotions, that get upset, that get happy, that get sad, that get
Mm,
enraged.
right.
They know on some level, even if they don't know what the act is, they
Mm,
know that it's not supposed to happen to them because nobody has something happen to them that hurts, that causes pain. You don't do that.
mhm.
And if somebody as an adult who is supposed to take care of me, because as a child, all you know for the adults around you are people that you look to for comfort and safety.
Yes,
So
yes.
somebody you look to for comfort and safety has done something that's uncomfortable, unsafe, painful, and that clouds how you look at everybody who has that role in your life. And as a kid, you don't know how to express that. That's what we
Mm-hmm.
forget. As adults, we don't know how to express ourselves sometimes. As adults, as a 56-year-old woman, sometimes I don't know why I act the way I act. I don't know why I get mad at shit. I don't know why stuff makes me cry. I don't know why stuff makes me smile. As an adult, as a 56-year-old woman, we are still trying to figure out how to handle our emotions and things that happen to us. And we don't give that same grace to a child who has no experience in the matter. We say because we said so.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the beginning, the am I the asshole, is this father was trying to, because I said so, that child from having a period.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad because I said so. You're my little girl. You're never supposed to have a period until you have a husband, and he's the only one supposed to have that. You're supposed to hold that till he gets here. What? Is it not a book? Was I think some people there should be like a parenting class, but you need to take that before the before parent becomes part of your numbers. I mean, before before parent becomes a part of your ands, you need to take class. If you don't know that your daughter at some point is going to have a period, and she's going to be changing physically and emotionally, biologically, and you're supposed to help her with that, not punish her.
And you know what? That happens with the guys too, because I can remember at one point before my mom met my stepfather, because my mom and father wasn't married, and my brother had became a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom would sometimes take a cab. You know, when we would like on Saturdays to go, and she would rent the cab out for an hour, and the cab would take us around, and she would do her little shopping, this, that, pick up things, and then we just go home. So a couple of times, you know, we had the same cab driver who became very friendly with us. So he had told my mom, anytime you go out, just call me and I'll be the one to come and pick y'all up. So we got real close to this guy. And my brother, he would ride in the front with the cab driver.
Uh-huh.
And so one day he told my mom, he was like, I'm going to help you take the bags upstairs. And he had told the cab driver he wanted to talk to him. And so he talked to the cab driver. So the cab driver then told my mother what my brother had told him. And he had told him he didn't understand what was happening to him. And he didn't know how to tell my mother that he was starting to, you know, get these feelings, you know,
Right.
and stuff. And that my mother kept yelling at him that he would stay in the bathroom and stuff too much, you know. And so
Wait for a
my
second.
mother, huh?
I was talking to
Oh,
her.
Oh, okay. So the cab driver began to, and he said, that my brother, this cab driver telling my mother, and he was like, there's some things that a young man need to do, you know, so you got to kind of like leave him that
Putting on her
space,
shoes.
leave him that space,
Putting on her
and I'll
shoes.
never, huh? Oh, so my mother after that, she was just like, when he's in the bathroom, just let him be. Just And I'll never forget. I used to look at my little brother like when he would come out the bathroom, I'd be like, I look at him like, I don't know if I was just wondering was he gonna look different or what, but my mother was like, don't rush him. Do not.
But see, I don't. I mean, I guess that's why I always talk to Nick, and I think I got it to the point where it was sometimes it would be too much because I wanted to give him the option. I didn't want him to think that he had to. I didn't want him to feel like that he was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what happens when we look at our children and the topic of sex and sexuality and private parts and masturbation and anything like that comes up. We
Yeah.
want to look at them like they're going to be 5 years old for eternity when they're not. And because I didn't get the talks and because I had an unhealthy relationship with sexuality because I didn't know anything about it. And I was going through, didn't know anything as to why I thought she was pretty, but I'm supposed to be with boys. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And because I was, what's the word? Because I had developed a lot. And because older people looked at me like I should have been older. And nobody was telling me I shouldn't have acted older. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to. That was one of the generational curses. At the time, I didn't know that's what it was called. That I wanted to break. I didn't want my child, girl or boy, to have an unhealthy relationship with sexuality, and themselves. Because that's a very vulnerable time in a person's life when you are opening yourself up either privately or to someone else about sexuality.
Oh my
And
God.
people
Yes. I just
and
recently told my family about my lifestyle now.
and people don't realize that if you don't give your children a steady, firm foundation to where when something happens, they're able to absorb that,
Mm-hmm.
then they end up in situations where you have a 15-year-old having a baby.
Yeah.
You end up with your children not being able to come to you if somebody does something to them inappropriately. So I didn't want that because I had gotten myself into situations. I was not molested as a child. However, as a teenager, I was in situations where I would just say that I look back and I am very blessed to be 56. And I'm going to
Yes.
leave it at that. I didn't
Me
want that for my kid, be it a girl or a boy. So before I even, when I didn't think I'd be able to have kids, and then when I got pregnant with Nick, I spent 9 months trying to figure out how I was going to make sure that he was cool with who he was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel cool with who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel I never felt secure in the fact that I was smart and I was kind of cute. And I might have had too many boobs and ass at a young age. And I was fine. I was never secure in any of my stuff.
Okay.
I was never secure in my talent, which is why I didn't pursue it.
Okay.
I was never secure in my intelligence, which is why I tried to hide it. I was never secure in my sexuality because I didn't know it. And that's why at this age, I have went through so many stages and so many things. That is why now I talk to anybody and everybody about stuff because I don't want future generations to go through that because it is it affects as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I thought I wasn't gonna be doing at this age, I look back and go, dang, I should have went left, but I went right. And some things I'm glad for because I love the life and the people that are in my life. Can't
Yes.
imagine my life being better with different people in it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. A
But I
lot.
also know that I took a lot of wrong turns. I'm just glad that the turns didn't end up to be the last turn. So when I hear little girls having to go through situations like this, even little girls that I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
it 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 truly makes me sad because I always thought that as time progressed, as we left the 80s and then the 90s and then the 2000s, that it would get better. That little girls wouldn't have to be ostracized and penalized for being little girls.
Mm-hmm.
That little boys would understand that you don't have to be so rough to be a little boy.
Right.
You don't have to be violent to be a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be sexual to be a little boy. But it ain't changed. You got social media and entertainment people buying they 8, 9, 10-year-old sons strippers so they won't be gay. You got people burning books and changing curriculums so that children won't learn about their history, or so that young LGBTQI plus children will feel back to how they felt in the 50s and the 60s. They're back to hiding. They're back to closets. They're back to don't say gay. To when children were killing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
To when it was okay to bully the gay kid. It's okay to prop the bra straps. It's okay to pull the hair. It's okay to make the inappropriate comments because it's just boys being boys. But little girls have to sit there and smile and be like, oh. Because if they say something, they're aggressive, they're masculine, they're too manly. Nobody's going to want you.
Mm-hmm.
They spend time telling little girls that if you are not quiet and if you're not timid and if you're not in the background, no man is going to want you. And they spend that same amount of time telling little boys, if you're not loud, if you're not violent, if you're not sexual, no woman is going to want you.
Yeah, they do.
What are we doing to our kids? What are we allowing others to do to our kids?
Teaching them what we was taught,
We got to
and
stop.
that it's okay. Yeah.
We got to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop that. We got to be okay, ladies. We got to be okay with being alone
Yeah.
and not just having a man in your house, especially if you got little girls, not just little boys, children, period. Because still, every time I turn on the TV, some man is killing his girlfriend's baby because it was crying. Hell, this was the daddy killed one of the twins. The other twin was at the hospital with the mama. The daddy killed the other twin because he was crying too much. Because I couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the crying. So he shook the baby till it stopped.
Some of them don't recognize their strength.
It's not that he didn't recognize his strength. It didn't matter. You don't
Mm-hmm.
shake an infant for anything. Strength. He didn't just shake it a little bit. He shook it till it stopped crying. And if you understand an infant, the head is not solid yet. So
Yeah.
it takes a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making it cry because you're shaking it because it's crying. So you got to shake a baby long enough for it to become damn near dead for it to stop crying. Because you can't handle being a daddy.
Enraged.
Ladies, you got a man over your baby because you don't want to be alone. But when the baby tell you that he done did something, I don't like the way he looks at me, Mom. I don't like how he comes in the bathroom when I'm in there.
Well,
I don't
basically,
like
you
how he
gotta
comes
lock
in
the
my
door.
room.
Remember, like the young lady that live out. Well, no, she moved. Her daughter
Right.
can't even walk around the house. The daughter constantly locks her bedroom door. You know,
Mama, I gotta lock my door when you're not there because of how he acts when you're gone.
We had a girl in school that used to say she had to lock her bedroom door. And I
Why
used to
is
think
this still allowed?
that was so weird. I was like, what? I said, we leave ours open. She
But
used to be
why is
like,
this still allowed? Why are we not?
yeah.
It flabbergasts me. And the same token with little boys. I hate to hear women talk about how fine a 2-year-old is.
Oh my God, yes.
I hate to hear women talk about when they changing the baby diaper, how big that little thing is. Ooh, look at
Mm-mm.
that. You're going to have a problem when you get older. Why is you looking at somebody in a diaper?
Yeah.
And I know that it might be jokes, but it might not be. See, that's my thing. We give, in the flip side, we give women the leeway that we don't give men when it comes to being around our kids. But the fact that we think women are incapable of being sexual predators is a problem. Where my little boyfriend at? At your house, bitch.
I know that's right.
We used to have a joke. There was a thing about this boy. He was 19, but he was still in high school because he was going to the senior prom, and his date was 44 years old. And baby
Ooh.
used to be like, "What if Nick?" Because this is back when Nick was in middle school. She was like, "He's grown because he 19." That's what she said. But he bring a 44-year-old woman to the house as his prom date. I'm like, oh, I don't know what you want me to say because she not leaving the house. What the hell you want me to say? She gonna be looking for that body. I'm gonna help them look for her body. I don't know what you want me to say.
They only said, Lisa, where's the body? I don't know.
Let's see. Shit, bitch, let's go. Let's see. She
Yeah.
came over here saying she was going to the prom, my son. I immediately cussed her out, slammed the door in her face, told my son if he leave the house, I was gonna shoot him, and then I ain't seen her since. Now she's stinking in my trunk. Okay. That was my first thought, is to get rid of the problem. But my second thought was, what does a 44-year-old woman want with a 19-year-old boy? Now, I understand that 19 is technically an adult, but I know for a fact
Yeah.
boys just start washing their ass around 16.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do with that? What club? Let me ask you, what club are you taking my son to? What outing are y'all going to?
The Mickey
Because he
Mouse
can't
Club.
get in no grown folk shit. So y'all going to the zoo? You gonna take my baby to the zoo? I guess so. Y'all going to Chuck E. Cheese for his birthday? Where you going?
Mm-hmm.
What is a 44-year-old woman doing with a 19-year-old?
Yeah.
I am 56, and what I look like with a 40-year-old.
Mm-mm.
Not to say there's anything technically wrong with it, 16-year difference. But I know for a fact that there's going to be a difference. We first started on the YouTube streets. There was a couple, and I'm not going to get into completely, but the age difference was how many? 52 years.
52. Oh,
He
okay.
was 17. She was 72. And how old was she?
Something like that.
He
Something like
was
that.
17 She was at the age was 52 years. So she was 17 and 52 plus 17, she was 69 or 7. I don't know. When they met.
Yeah, I would think somebody that young don't want to do nothing but use me. Think I got some money or something.
Now I'm not gonna say that it was a mental illness. I'm not gonna say any of that stuff. All I'm trying to figure out is where was his mama now?
Yeah.
Because Granny, let me tell you some good stuff.
They
Let me
probably
tell
was
you,
encouraging that though. They
let me
probably
tell,
was
and from what I understand, that they didn't have any problem with it. But let me tell
yeah.
you some good stuff, Stank Stank. Let me tell you some good stuff. TT, Gigi, Granny, Grandma. The only thing keeping me off you is that jail cell you're gonna be in. What is you doing? Girl, y'all don't get your grandma. It is because I can't fathom what an adult would do with a child. And to me, a 18, 19, 17, 16, that's a child.
Yeah.
I don't care how grown they look. I don't care. And I understand that maybe it was a situation where it's a plethora of situations where he may have felt a bond with this person and it equated to uh, love, I guess. I guess. But I look at anybody, an adult, looking at a child as a in a sexual manner. Because hear me. A romantic relationship eventually equates to sex at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You look at your friends. I don't look at my friends as sexual beings.
I might
Krista,
have
you
to go
cute,
out.
huh?
Oh, I said I'm gonna have to go out and come back in because I'm not gonna be able to hear because it's
Oh,
just circling around the other
oh, am
person.
I, baby? Am I circling?
No, no, not you. The other person that came in.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. I can't. No, no, no. There are different relationships, but one that ends in sexuality, you should not be looking at it. I just can't. I can't, y'all. And I can't do it. Mm-mm.
So TC, what's your input on all this?
You know what? I want to go back and
Mm.
say to you all that you are spot
Gross.
on. Lisa, you're hitting it. I don't know what's going on and why some of these women do not they're not doing anything with these men. It's like the same lines. It's like the same games that are being played, Um and and the kids are being their souls are being snatched and their souls are being lost and it's just ridiculous and women are not excluded. Women are not excluded. Women are doing the same things, just a
Yes,
different just it's different because they may not have the ability to penetrate, but
we
sometimes
just
the
look at it
effect
differently.
is different. Yeah,
We look at it differently because of the double standard that we set
that
for the difference between
there
male
you
and
go.
female, between men and women.
Right.
We look at a man as supposed to do that stuff, but why is a man supposed to do that stuff?
He doesn't. Right. Who
And
said
women are
that?
supposed to take that stuff, but why are we supposed to take that stuff?
Right.
The reality is that anybody has the capacity for good and evil.
There you go.
Now, you might have some people out there that lean more toward one than the other, but we all have the capacity. I know I can tell you upfront with no hesitation that I have the capacity for evil if you do something to my family. I have the capacity. I have the I will kill you and sit and watch TV as they come to arrest me in me
Mm,
with no hesitation.
right.
Would you kill for your children? That is a question they ask all the time. With no hesitation, do I say absolutely? I would kill for your children.
Hmm.
So we all have the capacity for good and evil.
Yes.
But at some point, we, these, look here. I don't even know what to say because it is. I just knew things would change. I feel stupid. When I was younger, in my 20s, my teens, I knew when I got to my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that the racial climate would change, the sexual disparity would change, that how we treat each other would get better. I just knew that in my heart, my spirit. I knew that. But it has gotten worse. Somebody actually posted, I punished my 11-year-old because they got their period and it was their fault.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
punished my 14-year-old because she wore a pad. I don't allow my daughters to wear tampons because tampons cause orgasm. Late term abortions. What happens when a doctor kills a child as it comes out of the womb fully formed and breathing? Murder. Fool.
Mm.
It's not abortion, that's murder.
Mm-hmm.
But the same child that you allow to be molested by her uncle, her daddy, and her brother has to carry the product of that crime because you decided that it was better for babies to have babies than for women to have equitable access to Planned Parenthood. It's not enough babies, so we'll let the babies have the babies. Because the old women ain't having them no more.
Oh, amen.
No. The old women ain't having them more. And men should go out and have as many babies with as many women as possible because,
No.
we got to repopulate this planet.
Says who?
What the Bible said. Do you read it?
No.
It said
I
be
read it,
fruitful
but
and
that's not.
multiply.
I didn't say repopulate. I thought we had enough for now.
You got to no.
Uh.
Women are evil. You ain't remember? Women are
No.
evil. That's why we have periods. Because God said we're evil.
That's
So we're going to
because
hurt to have the babies. But men,
these. Okay.
however, can pump out thousands of children at a time.
Right. These are YouTube biblical lack of scholars, and so the final answer is that they don't know how to read, write, or do arithmetic. Most of them have never been out of their little city or their little neighborhood in their city. They don't know about a period. They wouldn't know how to spell period. They wouldn't be able to identify a period in a sentence.
But why you having kids? Here's the
Because
thing.
we don't make it certifiable that people have children.
Let me tell you something. Children are
They
like
need
guns.
you need a driver's license to drive. You
Children are
need
like
a
guns.
you
You should have to
guns.
do the same thing to get to the same stuff you got to go through to drive a car. You should have to do to have a baby and to own a gun.
Yeah,
You need to go to a class. You need to get certified. You
there
need to
you
go
go.
here. You need to get a license, and then maybe then you can have one gun with one bullet because your ass is still stupid, but you were smart enough to pass class. We are the reason that there are not enough babies. We're the reason because now women want to go to school. Y'all didn't understand. Y'all didn't know that. Women go to school now. We go to college. We get
Right.
education. We have jobs. We no longer just want to be somebody's wife and somebody's mama.
Right.
Lord, why would we do that? Why would you want to not be a stay-at-home wife and mother and just stay at the house and not have a career of your own? Why would you want to do that? And not have money of your own. Just make sure that dinner's done and the clothes are folded and the house is clean and you lay there quietly to have sex so you can have another baby. Let's do that.
Oh,
Why you
do
got
you
Don't
ever
go to
have
school.
do they ever have orgasms? Because just
No.
because you, I mean, I'd like to poll some women and find out when did they ever have an orgasm with their man
No, he
when
just
they
climb
had
on top of
before they
him and
got
let him do
pregnant.
his business.
No. Well,
He
these are the
just climb
same
on
men that
top
think
of him
that.
and do his business.
What now?
Where
He
they
just
go?
climb on top of him, do his business.
Leilani, that's a line from a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't no
Climb
orgasm
on
test.
top.
Remember, Chuck said, "Well, that mean you still a virgin."
Yeah.
That sounds like some color purple
Because
shit
Well,
right
these
there.
a
two
lot of
tell me
women
Like,
get
somebody,
a lot of
Leilani, that sounds like
women
a line from a movie.
a lot of women get pregnant and they never had an orgasm after 5 babies.
that's
Yep.
rude as hell. I don't.
That's a disrespect
That,
and a disregard if I ever and a disgrace if I ever heard it.
these are the
Now,
same people. Did not understand. Men are the same. The man is the same man. Men are the same people who think you have an orgasm from a tampon. Where the hell are you putting that tampon? Uh, ma'am, I have never had that tampon. I would purchase that one now. And
what we'd all be how about that? We'd all
yeah,
be out there trying to get that
I
tampon.
want,
But
Not me. Not
Y'all,
me.
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not
y'all be
buying.
at work telling us, "Ooh."
you say that now, Krista. You say that now, Krista, but you get one too many 5-star reviews from them tampons. You will find one with a long enough string. You'll be sitting up there next time we have a live. You'll be like, Lisa, I found the one with the long string. Like, I've been through this. I like, I
Well,
just,
And
Lisa,
also,
I found one, but it don't have a long string. But I did find a nice young lady. Just so
well, you know what? Hey, and there are orgasms to be had in your future. There are
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
orgasms to be had in your future. I'm gonna tell you some good shit. Now,
I believe
come
it.
from somebody who was in heterosexual relationships in the beginning. There's a uh, there's a difference to be had. Cause, yes, yes. There's a difference, baby. Taste the shit. Woo! Oh, yep. You better tell somebody, baby. But anyway, that's not what we talk. I digress. That's not what we talk about.
I
We're
know.
not
I
talking
know.
about
I know. I
orgasms.
just had to
My
sneak
bad.
that
My
in. I
bad.
just had to sneak that
I'll
into
just
you.
let you know that when
Okay.
the time comes,
Okay.
my girl, you're gonna be like, woohoo! That'll be we will have a live for that, and you can say all the woohoos you want to, because you'll be like, whoo, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. That's when you start singing church music. Mhm.
Lisa, don't
Anyway,
make me turn this camera off because I'm about to do the ugly laugh. I'm trying to keep a straight face.
look here. Look here. I'm trying, because if I sit up here and think about what started this whole conversation, I would be sad. But I
Yeah.
want to not be sad. I want to be a part of the progress that women have. I want my
Yeah.
babies to be able to talk about sexuality openly and honestly. I want them not to have to slut walk.
Yes.
I want them to, I want the walk of shame to be something you can laugh about because it's funny.
right.
That next morning when you carry them shoes in your hand because you did not know you was spending the night, you gotta walk slow. You gotta act like ain't nobody in the house when you come in the house and your friends like, where you been, huh? You know what I'm saying? I want young women to be able to be a full person and
Yeah.
not, I want little girls to be little girls. And I want them to not have to worry about running and playing in their house. I want little girls and little boys to be friends and not have to worry about this little boy trying to pop her bra strap or look under her shirt, because kids do that. The reality is that children explore each other,
Yeah.
and we can't ostracize and demonize when it happens. We have to explain to them why it's wrong for them to be doing it, but why they're doing it.
Yeah.
You just are not old enough, baby, to understand the complexity of looking at her titties. Now, I don't want to say it like that, but you're just not. You are not old enough to understand looking at his business.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, as adults, we get blinded by the boobs, the booty, and the coochie. And we do stupid stuff. As grown-ups, how do you expect kids to not have
Right.
issue with that?
That's
Think
right.
about your think about your 20-year-old grown-up ass and did something stupid for some good ding ding or some good coochie.
Mm.
Think about your 30-year-old ass ignoring the fact that you know they cheat, but they wear that ass out on the weekend, so you allow it. The stupid stuff that happened never goes away. But
Yeah.
we get experience and we learn how to handle it. Well, we got to be there for the young people coming up so they
Yeah.
understand that this is a normal, everyday process. But yeah, baby, you're not going to be able to understand it and you don't have the experience because it's a crazy thing. That first love,
Mm.
that crazy feeling that make you want to tell your mom and daddy you hate them and slam doors because they won't let you be with the great love of your life.
Right.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That first time they make your coochie twitch and you ain't know it could twitch. You're like, what the hell? You don't know how to handle that. We barely handle that as adults. Imagine come on now. That first
Oh,
time, that person that you like and you get close and all of a sudden all the air rush out. I was four. How old was I, baby? Because like you said, I told you how old I was like 13 times that day. Damn, shit, I was confused. I
I
think I told
know.
myself I was 46 by 17 times. Because I was confused. It shouldn't have been that I was just not feeling that at that age. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. What
Ooh,
is that?
that
What is that? What is
Because
that
that means
that you
that that's
feel?
experience only
your
gives you so
journey.
much. That
That's
was
your
that
journey.
love.
That's your time period.
That was that love. That was that stuff that make the songs and the poems make sense now.
Yeah.
All them songs that we sang, that shit didn't make no sense. We just like the words. We like the beat. But then after we fell in love, we understood what the hell that song meant.
Yeah. There's something
Ooh.
else going on. Yeah. That's what I've been
After we fell
confused.
in,
And I ain't never been confused like this. I've been confused here lately.
After you
Thank
fell
you.
in love, you understood what that poem meant. Stuff that you didn't understand before made sense
Oh, okay.
Oh.
because you
So
didn't
it's yet to make
understand
sense to me. It's yet to make sense. It's
because
gonna
he
come
understands.
together.
Yeah, it'll come together.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
It's when it makes sense. It's when the stupid shit makes sense. Because when you're not in the throes of love or lust or horny or none of that, you can look at things with clear eyes and a clear mind, and you can put your analytical shit on it, and you be like, oh, that's a hoe. Or you know what I'm saying? When you're
Mhm.
looking at your girl, when you're looking at your home girl, and y'all sitting there talking about your home girl, and it's that dude that you can't understand why she won't leave his ass.
Yeah.
Everybody got that one person where you don't understand why she don't sack up her shit and leave him.
Mhm.
He funny looking.
Right.
He barely got a job,
Barely.
and he cheat on her in her face. But to her, that all makes sense because she's so in love with him. Everything else is irrelevant. The love songs make sense because if you listen to the stupid ass love songs, how you sitting up there staying at the house being cheated on? Yeah, how are you thinking that number one is a good thing to be? Because if you're number one, that means there is number two, three, four, and five.
Thank you. That's right.
So make no
It
mistake.
better be the only one, not the one number
I
one.
am the
Number two.
only. Don't even put no number. Don't even put no number with me.
There you go.
I am the only. Period. I am period. I am the exclamation point. I am the end of the fucking sentence.
Oh,
Wow.
If
okay.
you got another sentence after me, then shit, I need another story. I'm in the wrong book, player. I have
Oh,
been in the wrong book. I have been the beginning of the story. I have been the beginning of the paragraph. Not anymore. I am the last period. I am the end. If there is something after me, that means I am at the wrong place. My wife taught me that. I take
Okay.
nothing from my wife because trust me when I tell you, I done been there when I have been the next bitch and I didn't know it. But I was in love and that shit made sense. It wasn't until I was out of love and I was back to the bitch instead of bitch. But it wasn't good stuff. And that's what we got to teach our babies, that good stuff.
No, you can't
To
keep
where
That's
you're
doing
with
good.
that.
that person and that person makes you feel whole and steady and safe. And whatever you do, they got your back. You close your eyes and lean back, and you ain't have to say nothing. Because before
Mm,
you fall, they there.
yeah.
Right.
She taught me that. It took a
Hmm.
long time to get to that lesson. It took a long time to get to that situation. And I would take nothing. There's not an amount of money that I would take for what I have. But it took a long time to get there. It took a long time to get there. And it took a lot of shit. It took a lot of crying. It took a lot of, yeah.
Right.
It took a lot of, I understand what the song said, but I just understood it with the wrong person.
Mm,
But I want to teach our girls that it's okay. It's okay for your relationship not to work out. It's okay for that person not to be the one.
mm.
It's okay for you not to want to be in a relationship and you got a little whole time in your life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with you being as sexually progressive and promiscuous or whatever you want to call it as the next person, as long as you're being safe, as long as you're understanding that sex does not equal love.
Oh, Lisa. Oh, you developing them
No,
soul ties with all them people.
you do what
Mm-mm.
you want to do because just because it is not your way doesn't mean it's not a way. That's not what you want to do. But I'm
No,
sure you dated a man that has more people, that has had more sex, has more sexual partners than you have, right?
yeah. Yep.
Did you have a problem with that?
No, because he was just my
All
only
right, there
one.
you go. What you got a problem with a girl doing it for?
I mean, you don't want to be out here with all
What
them
you got
different.
a problem with a girl? I'm not gonna let you finish this statement. Why do you have a problem with a
But you
girl
don't want
doing it?
you don't want to be out carrying all them different folks' spirits all up in your body like that. You don't
Why
want to
isn't a man carrying the spirits of every woman he's had sex with? Why
no, but
is a man not carrying a little bit of her on him?
then if you doing
No,
that with 10 of
ma'am.
them versus just the 2 or the 3, now you got it times
You
10.
are going to not, I am not going to allow you to sit in what was taught to us as children. There is nothing wrong with having more than one sexual partner if that is what you
No.
choose to do. You will
Right.
not look at a woman like she is a hoe because a man did the same.
Just
If a
calling her
man,
that word.
no,
I ain't gonna
ma'am,
call
I'm not
her
gonna
that
let you do
word.
that.
I ain't
I
gonna
mean, you
call her
can
that
do it.
word, but I'm just don't be out there with all them different people.
You can do what you want to do. You can't, but you can't look down your nose at a woman that does.
No, no, I don't look down at nobody though. I don't do that.
But
But
that's
I
what
mean,
you
I just
said. If
encourage
a
them.
woman was to come and tell you that she's been with 75 people,
I would tell her, baby, slow down. You don't
why?
have to do that to
Why?
you.
Why she got to slow down?
Slow down.
I would
75. Shit, it's
encourage
kind of
her.
too late. It's kind
I
of too
would
late to say
It's
slow down.
365 days in a year. She is 296 days late. What?
I would encourage her
But why
to
are you
slow
going to
down.
encourage her? Why? Would you
I,
encourage him? Would you tell him no?
I
Would you
would.
tell
I
him to
would.
stop?
I tell young men that too. I tell young men that all the time.
But do
I
you mean it for the same reason?
Yes, I do.
What's the
Yes, I
reason?
do. Although their body parts are different, I still tell them, as well as the young people when I meet them, you don't want to do it's more to it than just going along with that feeling. Okay. And
Sex
then
is
having
sex.
that feeling with different people,
Sex
because
is
you want to
sex.
meet somebody and you want to have something special to give that other person. And it's going to make you feel good too
That
inside.
is how women get stuck in relationships with men they don't want. Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
waited, and they waited, and they held on to that flower that your mama told you that you couldn't get but one person
And they never find out what an orgasm is because they stuck
in
with that
their whole
dude
life.
that was climbing on top of them doing his business.
Nasty,
I can tell you, my
nasty,
husband,
and
I got nothing out of it. I didn't understand the point. What was so great about sex with my whole marriage.
Wow.
With that next man.
Now, I'm not gonna say you should have. Hear me out. I'm not gonna say you should have 75. I'm not gonna say you should have 10. But
Mm.
if that is your journey, that's your journey.
Oh, man.
If being sexually adventurous is your journey, that's your journey. Sex does not equal love. It doesn't equal anything but
Right,
sex.
right,
Stop putting on sex, love onto sex, because that is the problem
right,
that we have. We teach our daughters, not our sons.
right.
We teach our daughters that sex equals love, so that every time a girl has sex with a boy, she think that little boy love her, and he can get away with doing that dumb shit that little boys do to little girls. He can have 13 little girls in love with him
Mm-mm.
because did nobody tell him that sex and love ain't, because nobody told him that sex and love was the same thing. But you tell your daughters that sex equals love. No, it don't. Sex equals sex. That's because, do y'all
Right,
understand that
right.
prostitution is the oldest
But you don't
profession
want to
in
be
the
giving your
world?
body to just, you don't want to just give your
Prostitution is the
body.
oldest profession in the world. The first thing sold was ass,
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
because sex and love ain't the same thing.
Right.
They don't equate. They're not even in the same book.
Hmm.
Sex ain't in the book with love. Sex is a physical act. Real sex is nasty, funky, dirty, sweaty. It's musty. It is not pretty. It is not that shit in pornos, and it is not that shit on TV.
Right.
Real sex is rolling around, laughing, joking, orgasms. It's sleeping in the wet spot. It's doing freaky shit with your partner because you love, but it's sex. That's what sex is.
Hmm.
Love is every day. Love is breakfast in bed. Love is my wife standing at the top of the stairs with a bag of cereal on my way to work so I can have a snack.
And
Love
love
is
is
some flowers showing up
someone
at
that
my
you
job
can,
because it's Tuesday.
and it's somebody that you feel you can't live without.
But you don't have
So,
to, but there are times when you won't have sex with the person that you're in love with. And if that person can't be with you without sex, then hey, sex and love ain't the same thing.
right.
It don't even go together. It will eventually play a part in a romantic relationship. And I will tell anybody, you cannot be in a romantic relationship with somebody and one of y'all is sexual and one of you are not. It's not going to work.
I believe that.
It's
Yeah.
not going to work. You can't keep your flower to yourself and then find out your husband like to tie your ass to the bed, and that's the only reason his dick get hard.
Mm.
Because you ain't rubbed on it beforehand and you don't know that it just don't get hard because of you.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
All these
ooh.
y'all, do y'all understand that our parents and our grandparents were miserable? That's why your granddaddy got 13 kids outside of his mama, his
Right.
wife. Because he was having sex with other people, because at home he was making babies. Outside he was fucking. And then your grandmama finally left your granddaddy when they were 65 years old, and she could put his ass out because she saved up enough money to take care of herself. Because you gotta understand, these grandmamas and granddaddies and great grandmamas and great granddaddies and hell mamas and daddies, the mamas didn't have no money.
Mm.
They didn't stay
Right.
because they love your daddy. They didn't stay with him because he was a great man.
He was a
They
provider.
stayed with him because the only way to get money was through him.
Him. That's right.
And if you left, he wasn't gonna give you no money except for you. And that ain't enough to take care of both of y'all. So they stayed.
That's right.
My friends,
That's
mama.
that's why the women got to be taught, instead of out here having sex and finding people to have sex with, do something different. Educate yourself. Take that energy. Educate yourself,
What?
and then you'll be too tired to just be out here body up.
What you just said?
Huh?
You don't think college girls are having sex while they get their degree?
Oh, I ain't say that. I didn't say that.
Fucking
I'm just saying, if they're doing, I know, I was in a relationship and in college, but I'm just saying, that's if they, that's why you teach them that, so that they don't be like our grandparents was, staying with men so they can get money and be able to live and make it. You want to teach them to be independent and be able to be out here and provide for themselves.
Yeah, but sex ain't gonna come into that. But sex not gonna come into that conversation. Sex will never come into my daughter's conversation about being able to take care of herself financially. It has nothing to do with the other.
Yes, it
Sex
will.
will never come into her getting an education. That's a different conversation. It doesn't go together.
Sure it does.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Sex had nothing to do with me going to class. Me having sex with somebody had nothing to do with me going to class and getting my classwork done. It had nothing to do with me getting a degree. It had nothing to do with me going to work. I was on some dick at 7:30, and at 8 o'clock I was at work. It had nothing to do with the other. Sex had nothing to do with that.
Not with a different one all the time.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen as often as people think. What I'm saying is it doesn't come into the equation. Krista, you are stuck in you are really stuck in the old school one woman, one man thing, or one woman, one woman thing. You are stuck in that. Yes, you are.
I'm not really.
You just said I would teach my child not to have sex because that would affect her going forward. Sex is not in the equation when it comes to education.
I would encourage her. No, I would encourage her, so that when we were talking about how our grandparents stayed together because that was their way of making a living, to be with granddad because they knew for money purposes and financial, to make it, to live. So that's what I was just saying.
Being married, that's not sex. That's being
right.
married. Sex and marriage ain't got nothing to do with each other.
Right. Well, you the one that said it. You was the one talking about it.
I said, what difference does it make if they are promiscuous? What does that have to do with you? And how can you judge them for that? It has nothing to do with their education. It has nothing to do with their employment. It has nothing to do with them eventually getting married at some point. It has nothing to do with none of that. Sex is sex. Sex ain't love. Sex ain't marriage.
Right, that's what I mean. So you don't want to.
But you just said I would teach my child to not be promiscuous because I don't want. When you start teaching people that sex has an impact on how people look at them, that becomes a problem.
It does.
But it doesn't.
It's going to have It's going to have an impact on that man that they laying down.
Fuck that man. Get another one.
That's what I'm saying. So why would you take
that judges you for your sexuality when you don't judge him for his sexuality? Fuck him. Get another one.
But that's what I'm just saying. So why give this man that's going to judge you, who's looking at you as, if you're giving it up to me the first night?
What difference does he make? Who is he?
Then don't give him your body.
No, baby. I'm not talking about having sex with somebody who judges you. I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about people who have these kids are not like us.
Okay.
Sex is 100% different now than it was before.
Yes, I agree.
These kids talking about fucking when they in grade school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These kids are having sexual relations in middle school. They having babies in high school. They married at graduation. You couldn't afford a butter baby on me at 16. You couldn't afford a
Mm,
husband on me at 25. These kids are 100%
mhm.
different than we are. But that does not mean the underlying
Right.
fact that if you teach little girls that they're bad because they have sex, then that's how they're going to feel about it, whether or not they have it or not.
Well,
It's not bad or
I don't
good.
teach
It
them
just
that they're
is.
believe in, I don't believe in putting a person down. I say try to encourage. I encourage
But
the young men and the young women that I come in contact with, and I encourage them both the same. I tell the young men just like I tell the young women. You know, that's not something for everybody. Your body, whether you're a boy or a man, or a boy or girl, teenage, whatever that's not something for everybody.
why you say that?
That's not, that's the reason I say that is because that's something that you share with someone that's special
Why?
to you, and you be special to that person.
But why?
That's I encourage. Why?
Why? Yeah.
Because
If
that's
you
your
don't have a
body.
reason. No, no, no.
That's your
I'm
body.
really asking. It may sound like I'm picking on you. I'm not. You know, we
No,
always
no,
have these
no. You know,
discussions.
I know we yin and yang. Remember?
So my question to you, and I want you to stop before you just keep going. I encourage. I'm
Hmm.
asking you why.
Why do I
Why do
encourage them?
you feel that way? No. Why do you
Or why
feel
do I?
that way? Why do you feel that you can't have if you are dating someone
Hmm.
and most people once you get to a certain age, most of us date to marry. After a certain age, we date to marry. Before then, we
Right.
just dating to date. That's just the reality. Late teens, early 20s, some people want to get married. It depends upon the region. It depends upon your family. It depends upon whole. There are a lot of, but most of us just dating to date when we young. That's what I was doing.
Okay. I
After
dated
a
to me.
certain age, you date to get married. At a
Mm,
certain, because I don't think you should be. Because I think, because let me tell you why. I worked in as a bartender. I
okay.
worked in a situation where I saw a lot of women, not men now. I saw a
Hmm.
lot of women in their 40s, their late 30s, 40s, early 50s in the club, single because they got married when they were young. Because everybody told them that to be a real woman, you have to get married and have kids when you're young. So that's what
Yeah.
they did. They got
Hmm.
married and they did all that. They realized they had done nothing else with their life. Their
Right.
kids grown. And now you 40 years old, you got 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old kids, and
Right.
you ain't with your husband no more. So now you are doing 22-year-old things at 40 because you
Right.
didn't do it at 22. My
Right.
thing, and I will always say, you sow your oats until you don't want to sow them no more. Not until society tells you to stop sowing them. Not
No.
until even your mama didn't tell you to stop sewing them. Because if
Mhm.
you stop before you want to, your ass will sew them later. And it is nothing worse than your
Yeah.
old ass in the club with 20-year-old
Right.
trying to
Hmm.
get a date at 40
Yeah.
with your kids' friends. Because you didn't do your 20-year-old shit at 20. I was able to be in love and be with my wife and not give a damn about another person because I did what the hell I was supposed to do in my 20s.
Right. Mm.
So when I got older, when I had Nick at 37, I was good at being a mama. I didn't worry about going out to the club because I didn't have my baby when I was supposed to be at the club.
Right.
So when I had my baby, I was good. I was with my
Right.
baby.
Right. Mm.
So to me, I don't understand what you're saying because you're saying, why do you feel that way? Because when you young, you should explore your options. Because you know how many people are having sex with a man that are gay? Because that's
Mhm.
all they're exposed, because that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
You know how many studs out here with babies, with with
Mhm.
with grown ups because they were supposed to be having sex with a man, and then
Mhm.
they find out 10 years later, well, I don't really like dick.
Yeah.
So my question is, what
Mhm.
made you? Why do you feel that way? Because you're supposed to be going out and doing your thing. And it doesn't always end in sex. We're just
Right.
talking about sex because we were
Yeah.
talking about periods and bodies changing. And
Yeah.
sex is very polarizing.
Right. Mhm.
It doesn't always end in sex.
Right.
But if
Right.
it did, you understand what I'm saying? I'm asking you why you feel that way. because I feel like, and you think, and you feel like you telling them the right. I would suggest you don't have sex because you don't want to do your body like that. But do you remember when your mama was telling you that stuff and you felt some kind of way?
Well, the whole thing is, I can understand if you have a boyfriend or somebody, but I'm just saying multiple partners. That's
What
the
if
only
you
thing.
have two boyfriends in a year?
Huh?
What if you have a different boyfriend every year?
I
What if
just,
you go with this boy for 3 months
I,
and this boy for 6 months and that boy for another 6 months?
mm-mm. I
You
don't
see what
agree
I'm
with.
saying?
I don't agree
But,
with all that.
but why
I,
don't you agree with it? I'm asking you,
slow
why
down.
don't you agree with it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said. I just said I don't agree with that.
But
I don't.
why don't you? I mean, what is the reasoning behind? Because I know that because of how I did as a kid, I can tell you why I act the way I act with sex. Because nobody told me about sex. And
Right.
because I didn't know what I was doing. And because I equated love with sex, I got in situations I shouldn't have been in. So I made
Mhm.
sure moving forward when I talk to people,
Right.
especially young people, I give
Hmm.
them the wisdom of the bullshit I went through.
Hmm.
Because nowadays girls, women are not making it home from sexual encounters.
Yeah.
Women are dying
Hmm.
or going missing.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I don't want women to feel like they can't talk to somebody and feel some kind of way. If you Because out of 20 women, one might be a little more promiscuous than the other ones. She
Mm.
shouldn't feel as though she can't come to her friends because she likes to have sex.
Right.
And
Mm.
if you make it so that somebody does that, I'm asking you, why do you feel? I can tell you why I have the issues why I say what I say. I'm
Mhm.
asking you, why do you feel the opposite? That's what
Yeah.
I'm asking. Do you have like I do it because of how I was taught or because you see what I'm saying? I'm asking you why you feel that way, not why you say what you say. Why do you
Mm.
feel that way to say it?
Hmm. Yeah. I feel that way personally because I personally, I just think more highly. I don't feel like everybody deserve my body, especially in that form. I just don't. I'm just not cool with that, you know. And I can when I talk to someone, I can only tell them how I feel. Now, when I was in a relationship, I put one leg on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. Some days, I tooted and booted. Some days, I did all of those things with my one partner. Okay, with my, because I was young and I wanted to do what my body wanted to do. And I encourage a lot of younger people. I understand that, but that multiple partner stuff, I don't agree with that stuff.
Okay,
I
see,
don't.
you still saying because I feel.
Yeah, because you were asking me about me and why
Right.
I
Did
feel
something
stuff.
happen? Is there like because this is what my mama taught me, or because I had a bad relationship? I'm not asking about your feelings. I'm
Okay,
asking about what happened to make
much
you
what I
form
was,
those feelings. I'm just
it
trying
wasn't,
to learn. That's all. I'm just trying to learn. I'm not
yeah.
picking on you. I just want to know because I
I know.
know why I feel that way. I know
Yeah,
why
I mean,
I
and
have
it's
my
not even
feelings.
so much just that my mom taught me that way or I grew up in the church and stuff like that. That's what's in me. Even at this age now, when I'm talking to someone, it ain't we ain't finna go to bed tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much I'm jumping and you jumping. That's not what we finna do tomorrow. You
Okay.
know, I just I gotta
Yeah.
that's yeah, yeah.
Can I? Can I have an answer to the question, Lisa. And
Okay.
as far as for me and multiple partners, number one, as far as multiple partners are concerned, I believe that sexual transmitted demons are real.
Okay.
And I also believe that, of course, a lot of people, mental illness, all kind of stuff gets spread even through our soul tie and through this exercise of sex. We have to be very, especially the female body, because of it being more of a receptor.
Right.
And being, you have to be mindful of who comes in your space, in your body. And so, unfortunately, we have so many people who and continue to be traumatized, not taking care of themselves, just not hygiene. I just don't know, as far as the having sex with men, like they don't even know how to pee in the bathroom straight, in the toilet straight. So I don't even know how mugs could be having sex with them, because they supposed to be the leaders, and they don't know how to pee in the damn
They
thing
don't know how to
straight. We
wash
just had an
their ass,
issue. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
we
get
just
that.
had an issue like that in our office, talking about the men and blase, and we have to clean up after them, and so we whatever. So I'm just saying that for me, it's a science, it's scientific, it's very spiritual, and I don't like. I've noticed that mental illness. There is that definite connection with mental illness, spirituality, and sexual partners, especially if you're just out there, and with multiple partners, with multiple partners.
Okay. Leilani?
Because
Leilani?
they want to just get on you and handle their business.
So for them bisexualisms and things, get it together, because don't nobody want to come after you if you done been with thing, and
Yeah, I get
he
that. Yeah.
can't even pee in the daggone thing straight, and you ill nasty behinds. Yuck.
Because when I first came out, when I first, explored my sexuality, I was not going to have sex with men and women at the same time, because I needed to make sure that a woman was what I wanted. I didn't just want this particular woman. I need to make sure that this was what was right for me, because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Because before we're intimate, we talked. Because like I talked to y'all and ask, and it sounds like I'm trying to be funny. I just want to know, because I know why I feel the way I feel. And to learn, you have to understand why people feel the way they feel.
You're right.
So before I was intimate with her, we talked a lot. We were friends. We had a friendship before anything sexual came about. And I had to make sure that it was not just her I was attracted to. It was women in general, because I was not going to, because she told me about it, because she's lesbian. And she told me about dating bisexual women and them going back to men, or using you as a practice lesbian. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to be that.
Exactly,
Thank you.
nasty buzzers,
I because I didn't. That's what
nasty,
I.
nasty
I
That's what
didn't
I
want to
stank.
be that.
wanted to be sure of before I like really got into it. Like not to put no business out here, but that's me. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure
Right.
that I didn't just like her, because I did. But I was like, nope, nope, it ain't just her. Oh, anyway. But I was like,
Holla.
shoot, here I come, world. How you know?
Hey, holla.
Come to realize too that the women I would date, had were I single now, are the exact opposite of the men I would have dated as far as looks go.
Oh my God, that is
And
so true.
crazily, because I liked dark, very dark. I used my friends used to be like, "Girl, if you don't get out of midnight, checking on you." I mean, because I do. I like a dark, tall, just dark. Now I realize it, because I was like, you know what? Date somebody that was. I could date somebody that was a little almost like this me. I don't know if I could probably go like this me, but it don't matter now because I got a whole wife, and that's irrelevant. But I realized
Fine.
that if I were dating,
Yes.
that I would date the opposite of what I dated
Hmm.
when I dated men.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because, I mean, not that I wouldn't date a dark skinned woman. Don't get it twisted. But I would also date a lighter skin because before when I was dating men, I didn't date nobody lighter than me. Hell, shoot, DC light skinned it as far as I was concerned. When I was dating dude, she light skinned it.
So is that like a sign that person is for you when you, in your opinion, when you're dating somebody or you're so into someone that's like the total opposite of like men that you dated?
I don't know. I just found it odd because I always thought, because when you talk about preferences as far as dating,
Mm-hmm.
I prefer. It's not that I wouldn't date. I would date anybody that clicked the date box, because it's about a feeling with me.
Okay.
But my preference was dark. My preference was like Wesley Snipes, black man. You know what I'm saying? But I had, yeah. So when I started dating women, I realized, no, they don't have to be dark
Right.
because I think that I narrowed my field with men because my mom used to, not my grandmother, but my mother, she used to beat into me that I was supposed to be with somebody who is like me.
Okay.
And I want to do the opposite of what she said. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whatever. Yes, I'm bad. I know it. She said I'm bad.
She was bad, y'all.
No, my mom. This is what my mom is like. I made you. She told me this one time, and it threw me because I was like, I didn't understand what she meant. Now as an adult, I understand what she meant, but as a child, as a younger person, I really did. It really just kind of threw me because I just thought she was saying something. I think we were arguing at the time. She said, I made you look the way you look so you would marry a doctor or a lawyer. And I was like, huh? The light skins, the mixture. I was like, and it wasn't until I was older I realized, oh. So when I was dating, I was dating a bad boy. I was dating, yeah. I was
Mhm.
dating thug life.
Yeah, I did notice that my attraction. I was like, I had mentioned that to somebody. I was like, I always dated like tall, thin guy. It was like the opposite of me, you know.
MC Light
And
said it best. I want a roughneck. I have a roughneck. That's what I wanted. And the opposite of doctor and lawyer. Now, as an adult, I realized that was not a good idea.
yeah,
But that don't mean that I would have had any better life with a doctor or lawyer.
yeah, that's true.
A job don't make you a good person.
Mm-mm.
So, so maybe that could be it. But I realized dating women that I would date anybody that I liked.
Mm-mm.
I didn't have to have a preference of height or color, because I saw some white women. I was like, oh, hey, Latino, and a couple of Asian. I was like, well, hi, her.
Okay. Hmm.
Today, I kind of, you know, black woman won. She won, and I'm the prize. I'm just playing,
I know
but
that's right.
that's my baby.
I know that's
Um,
right.
but yeah, I ask these questions because that's how we learn. I,
Yes.
I, like I said, when you have an unhealthy and a uneducated relationship with sex, then it was just because of the time that I survived to this age.
Okay.
Because nobody was talking to you. Nobody was telling you that there was a difference between sex and love. And then because a man wanted to have sex with you, that doesn't mean he loved you or even cared about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we're telling girls, that sex and your body is a temple and it's a flower and you keep it. But then we're telling little boys that they should go out there and date as many girls as possible because that'll make them better for their wife. But they don't understand that there are millions of little girls out there that are getting run over in the process
Mm-hmm.
because nobody is telling the little girl that, hey, sex don't equal love, baby. Just
Yeah.
because he has sex with you don't mean he even like you.
Yeah.
We're not telling our little girls that. We're telling our little girls that to get this, you have to do that. We're not telling them that the person that you want to do that with might suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't, because I know there are a lot of women who feel some kind of way about not. There's as many women that want to be single and mingle as there are men, but
Mhm.
women are made to feel bad about it, and men are not. That's why I said what I said. It wasn't because I think we should fuck everybody that we meet, because I don't
No,
think we should do
of
that.
course not.
But I think that you should have sex with the person that you're with, because I don't want you to hold on to that old way of thinking that you're going to automatically be sexually attracted to your husband or your wife. That's not true.
Mhm.
You got her. Think about it. Think back to when you were in the house with your mom and your dad, or your grandma and your granddaddy. How often did you see your grandma reach over and kiss your granddad for nothing, or hold his hand, or put her hand on his leg? The things that you do with the person that you love.
Yeah, see, that's the type of stuff I like.
But how
Yeah.
often did you see that happen in your house? That's what you like, but how often did it actually happen? How often was it something that you showed, that was shown to you? You
My
were
m-
told about it.
my mom had that with our stepfather. He actually, they had times that they held hands, they wore, shirts and stuff alike, and they did all those fun, cute things. Um, we would, go into the room, and you know, they would be up on the bed, like he'll be like sitting up or something, and my mom, of course, would be laying down, and we'll all be in their room sitting around eating popcorn and stuff. You know, um, they just did a lot of things with us, but they also they held hands, they kissed. He would always come and give her hugs. So we seen stuff like that a lot.
But do you know
Well,
how many people did?
I know.
Never saw their granddaddy just hold their grandmama hand. Never saw
Because
their
for a
granddaddy
long
just
time, my
reach
mom was
behind them.
single. For a
Huh?
long time, I said, because for a long time, my mom was single. She was a single mother.
Never
And,
saw
and
their granddaddy reach around and grab her by the waist while she cooking.
yeah, see, we seen all of that. And
Yeah, it's a lot of people that did it.
a lot of that is why I love stuff like that. I am very touchy feely.
And
You know,
that's why. Now I get it.
love touch.
That's what I wanted you to tell me. What you just told me is why you have the thought processes and the feelings and the things that you do, because you saw a healthy relationship between your mother and your stepfather, because you saw your mother and your stepfather holding hands, hugging, and being adults and in love in front of you. And they taught you that two people can love each other.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
I didn't see that with my friends' parents.
Okay.
I didn't see that with my friends. My roommates, mom and dad were grandparent age. They were older than my grandma, but she
Okay.
had her late. That was her late baby.
Okay.
But she had another husband before that, so she had my roommate had siblings that were old enough to be her parents.
Okay.
So, but one time, I don't know what made her mama. We were just sitting in the house, and he wasn't at the house. Daddy wasn't at the house. I don't know what made her mama tell us this. Her mama was like, "Do you know how many times I'd left your dad?" I was
Oh.
sitting there like, "Oh shit, I think that I'm not supposed to be." She said, "But because, well, she was older, less educated. I think the education stopped at like sixth grade or something. So
Okay.
she was like, I left." She said, "I left my mama's house and went straight to your daddy's house."
Mm.
She said, "To get out of my mama's house, I married your dad." And it was never, she said, "I would have left him because he got a baby after my roommate that don't belong to his wife, that
Oh
he
boy.
brought around the house like it was something to do."
Okay.
So that maybe that's why she said it. I don't know when that happened. We was just sitting there and she just volunteered the information and we was like, I was like,
She turned music.
oh, that's rude and disrespectful.
You
That's
knew it
rude
was
and
coming.
disrespectful. I don't even know how long we've been on here, to tell the truth.
I can't see it.
Oh, 2
But I
hours.
had a good
That's
time.
bad.
You know she was gonna get us.
I didn't even know she started you. You told me somebody you know. All right. Thank you, baby. I love you too. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming out.
Yes, thank you.
Well,
I'm so glad you came on. I've been waiting on you.
It was my bad. My bad. I'll be back next Wednesday. Next. Man, you know what? I could talk, but I ain't even gonna try right now. So
I like
I
that.
thank you. I thank everybody who joined the panel. Thank you, ladies, so much for making this an exciting panel.
You're welcome.
I appreciate everything that y'all tell me. I take in, I learn, and I thank you so much for my education.
And thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing what you share with us, your knowledge
welcome.
and stuff. Always giving us something to think about.
You're welcome. So the topic was how do I punish my 11-year-old for having a period? You leave being her father. Okay, that's how you punish her. You go away. I wish I might. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with this stuff. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for y'all coming in. Y'all go back in the replay, listen to what happened. In the comments, let me know what y'all think about the situation. Let me know what y'all had to go through or didn't go through or anything that we talked about. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video or I go live or maybe go live, you can join us. I think there will be some pumpkin carving or something going on at some point this week. Friday, there will be pumpkins carved and jack-o'-lanterns alive. So y'all look out for that. Leilani and DC will be doing that. Just Krista, check her out. I don't know if she's putting content up, but if she is, check her out. I want to thank you guys for coming out and listening to me talk. Because without y'all, there would be no talking. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video go live, you can join us. Hit me in the comments, guys, and give me stuff to talk about. Thank you so much. I love you, baby. Bye, y'all. Do I push the button or do you push